then I was born here in Metropolitan Hospital.
You know,
I was born here.
Red, white, and blue.
All right, so this is how we go. We say, I go with Hola Mi Gente. We're back again, another episode of, and she goes Raices podcast, and then you say your name and what you do. Hola Mi Gente, we're back again on another episode of
Raices NYC, and on this episode we have
Marc Vazquez. I am one of the co-owners of Mayahuel restaurant, along with my brother Ivan and my family. I'm also a photographer on my free time, mostly on my hobby, and yeah.
Wow! Many titles, many titles. So let's go to that. You know, you're a co-owner of Mayahuel. You know,
Yeah.
How is it? You know, how long have you been, co-owner? Been working at Mayahuel?
So I've been owning the restaurant with my parents and my brother for about I'd say about 3 years so far.
Okay.
As of 2022.
2022. And what got you into it? Even knowing it's from your family too. But what is it that got you you want to work here?
Like I said, it was something that's very unexpected. It's not something that I really wanted to do when I was studying in college.
Mm-hmm.
At first, I was studying to be more fashion marketing, or I really wanted to be a designer at the time because I went to LIM college throughout my whole college years. But once the pandemic happened and the situation was getting really bad at that time, I asked my parents, after working with them as well part time at the other location in Roosevelt Avenue, I told them hey, listen, why this is a perfect opportunity. The lockdowns are officially over. Why don't we open up more of a Mexican restaurant, but with a fine dining twist here in Astoria?
Okay.
So you had another restaurant before this, right?
Yeah, we currently still do. It's called Hola Seafood. It's been active since 1996, so it's about it's about 29. I can't even do the math at this point. I always forget.
But that one was started by your parents?
Yeah, after it used to be more of a meat shop at that time, and then my parents took over the spot, and then turned into more of a typical a Mexican grocery store and a meat shop. And eventually, as time went on, by 2005, it turned into more of a family-style restaurant. And then in the nighttime, just becomes a club, a nightclub.
Oh.
Yeah.
And what's it called again?
It's called Puebla Seafood.
Puebla
Seafood?
Oh, Puebla Seafood.
It's in Roosevelt. I'll just give you guys the address. It's 9527 Roosevelt Avenue. If you guys want some, my mom's cooking, definitely the... the guisados, the pozole, all those dishes. Yeah, you'll definitely get them.
I love mole poblano. Ya know where to go. Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so
no, I don't really talk about it.
The more you know.
Yeah, the more.
I heard it here first.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. I thought it was just here.
No. I mean, you guys always ask about Mayahuel. You never ask about.
You really never ask questions about me.
You
don't
my well-being.
They always ask I love the place, never how I am.
So then Mayahuel it's still family owned, but it's more run by you and your brother.
Absolutely.
Would you say?
Yeah, of course. I have management, which is my mom and my dad. Every day they always come by to see how I'm doing and everything. But yeah, it's mostly me and my brother, and then our chef too as well, who's the executive chef, making the menu and curating it.
What did your parents think of when you told them, hey, I actually want to open up another restaurant and I actually want to take up a little bit more ownership of that one?
Yeah, absolutely. My parents they weren't surprised, but they've been wanting to do something like this for a very long time. Again, they've been doing business in Roosevelt for a very long time, so they wanted to do something a little bit different and actually cater a little bit to the Astoria community, people that were outside of our area, which is in Roosevelt. It's mostly Mexican and then Ecuadorian and as well Guatemalans that around that area. Yeah, so we were you know what, let's also branch out and start catering and try our best to push a lot to other communities in here in Astoria, which is very if you walked around, it's a lot of Greeks and as well college students that are from different states as well.
It's awesome too. You decided to take a leap.
Yeah.
And you said that your parents come to see and everything. Do you guys get nervous when in the beginning, when they would come and check?
No.
Mijo, ¿cómo están las cosas? Papá, sí, está bien.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I always say, hey, it's the typical, my dad is very, I guess I wouldn't, very conservative
Mhm.
with his experience and everything. He's always like, "Why is there too many towels there? What's going on? You guys are putting too much lime. Lower the lime a little bit." You know, he's at that one of those like owners. You know, everybody has that owner.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if you work in a restaurant, it's like,
Yeah.
"Hey, that's a lot of cheese. Lower down. You got to do it like this, like this." I was like, "All right," you know, but with good intention. I guess every little thing is very. We try to be cost effective as well. But in during my routinely, like every time I wake up, I always go see them first. You know,
Yeah.
I every day I always go to the one in Puebla, see them. Hey guys, how you guys doing? And then I go back here.
How are you guys doing? Actually,
Yeah.
If you put it like here, it'll look better. Okay. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely,
The
absolutely.
aesthetic is
Like,
Yeah.
it's not doing
tell
it.
me what you do.
Bruh. So then your whole family, like, down your whole lineage, have they always been in restaurants or ownership of shops as well?
I think yeah, absolutely. We've actually in terms of my dad's side, yeah, majority of us were actually entrepreneurs. My uncle, he owned like a tortilla company, like you probably heard of it. It's probably there's one called Chile de la Sal. I don't know if you guys heard of that tortilla company. You probably see it in your Mexican grocery stores.
Yeah.
It's been active since like the '90s, as well as other like nightclubs as well in Roosevelt. I also have another aunt and uncle that own another taqueria right there in 90th Street, and yeah, like there's so many like entrepreneurs within my side of my family that and I guess I grew up with that mentality that I really want to take up I want to own something at least that
Yeah.
I truly love.
Did you go to school for like any like business management or anything like that?
No, I did not. But most of the time, I learned it from my parents,
Yeah.
right? And like, I necessarily wouldn't say I had like a very like corporate job or I never really worked under. It was always like working with my parents, understanding how they do like the logistics management as well. Obviously, I did learn from like taking certain classes out of my free time to improve myself. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, every year, and also with his experience too as well. For these last 3 years, I've been learning a lot of how to be a better manager and owner.
What would you say was the biggest learning lesson throughout everything?
In terms of what, like my 3 years in Mayahuel,
Mhm.
definitely. I would say it's more about team management. Because again, yes, I am an owner. But you really want to build a really good relationship with your own team, right? And it even starts up with the language, the vocabulary you use. When it comes to my team members, I don't say employees or servers. I say team members. It's us. It's about and usually it's them first, and then the owner like last, because I feel that it's very important to treat them the best they can, because in order for us to Mayahuel, because they are a piece of Mayahuel. It's not just me. I'm just a piece. The bigger piece is them because they're the ones that are in the front, and then I work with them too as well.
Yeah.
So I totally have a really good relationship with my employees as well. And yes, there'll be fights, there'll be disagreements, there'll be but at the same time, it's all about like I guess showing respect and being with them as well, not just telling them what to do, but working along with them.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, your employees, well, I guess you would say your team represents you,
Absolutely.
represents Mayahuel. Say they're having a bad day, so then that's just gonna throw the whole team off,
Absolutely.
or even the vibe, even like them answering to a customer, right? So you kind of want to make sure that they're having a good day. They're enjoying coming in to this environment and creating a better place to work in, I guess.
Yeah, I guess a structured organization.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be in terms that it feels corporate, but as well, I want them to feel, I guess, morally up. I want them to feel like this is their second home. This is a place where not only are you here to work, but also to have fun, but also make every decision that they do here in Mayahuel, even though they have their own jobs, their own responsibilities. I want them to feel like they're doing something. They're making an impact, not just for me and the business, but for themselves too. So when I have these meetings together, I always start out with a speech. I always try to be as impactful as I can, for them to see that it's not just me but it also benefits you because I teach them how to I as well teach them how to negotiate, how to be a little bit better public speaker, because when you're representing on a table, you're technically public speaking to them, right? You're selling a dish, you're also communicating with them. But as well, I want them to go whatever business they have, whatever venture they're going to go through. They're learning something, right? Negotiating is not just a restaurant thing or a business thing. It's how they network, how they go out and explore the world, and make an impactful thing to another individual.
Yeah, that's true. Also, going to the name Mayahuel, how did you come up with that? Where did that name come from?
So Mayahuel came from me and my brothers at that time. We were very fascinated with mezcal a lot before it became such like a mainstream spirit.
Mm-hmm.
So we enjoy how mezcal had so many stories in terms of not just the agave plant, but as well as profiles, the families that actually go through it, that actually make this product, right? So a lot of these mezcal brands are like, sometimes they'll say second generation, first generation, but the main family actually work on this project, and then the mezcaleros too. Like these are like farmers, and we love like supporting these local farmers in these like I guess pueblos that they're, or farms that they're at. Majority are from Oaxaca, and then other cities that have, well, other states that have mezcal currently. So it has a lot of story. What I'm trying to say,
Yeah.
mezcal has more story. Tequila does have story, but it's very hard because you have like artists that are very other famous people, celebrities that are taking over the tequila industry, and it's very hard for us to like actually like tell a customer like, yeah, this is really good tequila, and then they find out that it's owned by a celebrity. It's like,
yeah,
it's already a throw off already.
Yeah.
And again, we're telling a story here, so we really want each guest to come in and actually be I guess taking like every product and saying, wow, this is worth it. It's an experience, not a product. We're not selling a product. We're selling an experience, and an educational experience, you can say, as well, because we want everybody to be informed as well. And also, like, you never know, they might have their favorite mezcal because of us. There's certain individuals that come in, hey, I didn't even know about mezcal until I came to Mayahuel, because we had one me or one of my team members explain to them about this specific mezcal, and it tastes like bubblegum, and it's very nostalgic to them, and we try to work around with that.
What would you say is the motto for Mayahuel?
Oh, that's a good question. It's so complex when I get asked that question, because again, this is just from my perspective. Again, my brother perspective, the chef's perspective, my parents, they'll have their own motto, but for me, it's more about, like, I would say more an educational process, but I haven't gotten like this one slogan for Mayahuel that I could say, yeah, this is what Mayahuel represents. But I'd say that as the years go by, when we started off, the message and the idea when we started off is not the same as it is now, because we're evolving. We're evolving as the years go by.
Marc might have known this already, but Mayahuel is the goddess of the agave plant. So that's where that comes from. I actually recently learned it because I did the Azteca dance, and so that's when we had there's actually a dance called Mayahuel, and so that's where we kind of got taught that. I also had a question. So, what was actually your major in college?
It was fashion marketing.
Fashion marketing.
I completed that the courses and everything. I was like 22 at that time.
Wow. And what did because now you're coming back to what initially your parents started for you, but what did they think of when you told them, hey, I'm actually gonna go into fashion? And they're like, what? Vas a vender ropa?
Yeah, no, of course, like, yeah, absolutely. Like, it's the same thing if I were to tell them, like, hey, I want to be a photographer.
Yeah,
I guess they were just a little bit worried because again, it's mostly like the most obvious, where it's like you're a doctor, a lawyer, accountant. You're gonna be making money. I guess they were just worried when I took this role, since at that time it was mostly like it wasn't like a male dominant like industry. So for them, they would be scared, but again, they've been working a lot. What they would know, right? At that time there was like a fashion evolution in New York City, where a lot of it was getting very unisex. So it's for me at that time, I grew up in high school seeing a lot of, like, I guess A$AP Rocky, Playboy Cardi, a lot of these like very fashion icons coming up. So one of the reasons where I really wanted to be like fashion designing or fashion marketing. I wanted to be part of that industry.
Yeah.
you
You
know?
grew up during like the swag era.
Yeah, yeah,
All
2016,
that.
2017. That was a time when I said, you know what, this is something different.
I mean, 2026 is the new 2016.
Absolutely,
So
yeah.
we're coming back to
We're coming
it.
back, you know.
Definitely. So also, some things that you learned from, being a fashion major and all of
Yeah.
that. Would you say you also incorporated it here too, into how you design the place, the interior designing, and all of that too?
Yeah, creative direction, like creative direction. Marketing was one of the big things. You know, one of the things that I truly believe in is building a community.
Yeah.
I feel like as Mayahuel is not just a restaurant, but it's actually a brand itself.
Mhm.
You know, and one thing that I really truly want to do is like create a really good community where
Yeah.
I have like, I guess, guest loyalty, people
Yeah.
that just come in to
What-
support.
One thing that I noticed too is that you're willing to collaborate, with other artists. You're
Yeah.
willing to collaborate with other people too. I feel like it's something that some locations are missing or are scared to do or don't
Yeah.
even think of like wanting to do that. But you're understanding it more of why, you
Yeah.
want to collaborate.
Absolutely, because like I said, it's the same thing as fashion. You know, there you have other brands collaborating with each other. You have different, I guess I call them sub communities, right? And this is like a perfect example where I want different communities to come by. You know, there's certain communities I never thought of like stepping into my well, but why would they, right? So I try to reach out to people that may be a little bit outside of my circle, and to collaborate and see how our messages can collide together. You know, whether it's an art gallery, whether it's a fashion show, or a a mezcal event. Let's just say there's, hey guys, we're doing a lot of like free mezcal. You know, whatever works. You know, we try our best to try, I guess, create brand awareness to different communities in New York City.
So now we're going into our spooky, scary story time. Do you have a spooky story in the shop, in Mexico, something that happened to you?
But in the shop, maybe.
In the shop, in here?
Yeah, you have.
Oh, in here? I don't know. Well, I wouldn't say this place is haunted. I'm not saying that.
It's the basement. It's the basement.
It's the basement. I can't say, but I do have a cave downstairs. It's under here actually. Not lying, but it's where we keep our inventory.
Okay.
But listen, there are times when we do have some things that are very suspicious, and it's been happening for like 3 years, but it's not haunted. I could assume these are just natural causes, happening, But I will say that certain things where like glasses were just randomly, like one of our shelves where we had like 3 glasses they just randomly fall on the floor, and I'm not going crazy. Like I see two other people too as well. They're there. They're like, hey, what was that? Or sometimes where there was a champagne glass where it just pop, it went up, Or sometimes when I'd be walking, I just see in the left corner of my eye, I just see somebody standing, and I go like, what was that? I wouldn't say that this place is haunted, but I do see that there's something suspicious happening. But I guess, like my mom said, we're very religious. We're like, just pray to God, walk freely, it's fine.
Put the incense on.
Put the incense on,
Dale una limpia.
The only thing that I get mad is that, he's here and he's not paying rent.
And that he just broke 3 glasses.
Yeah.
Like, I can't like
Spoken like a true business owner.
Yeah, he's not paying rent.
I think with being Mexican too, it was just like when being haunted and all of that, sometimes you're so tired and like working, you're like I'm over it. Like, you know what? Go haunt someone else because I'm too tired for this.
But I do have one fear though. One fear that I don't really mention, but I do have a fear of duendes.
Duendes?
Yeah.
Loki?
You seen duendes?
I don't know. I've never seen it, but I'm just scared. Like I'd be like, sometimes like, let's just say at this age, since I have my own room, I do get scared. Like sometimes, like it'd be like 3 a.m. and I just hear like little cracks. I'm just like, but like it's like an actual like duende with the one with the hat.
Yeah.
Like it just scares me. Like I do get scared. Like
Loki here, I would see a duende just walk by, like maybe on the tree, little thing there.
It was little con tiempo.
It was little
it was a good tiempo.
He turns around and it's him.
Nah,
that's crazy.
Yo, if you stay home with like a little con tiempo, I think you'll get scared definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had to stay over at Ari's place one time, and they were in the bag. And Ari told me like one time she woke up and she just saw the bag like moving.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It was the original puppet, not this one.
It was the original. Oh
yeah.
Jesus.
I have the original at home, but yeah, I
That
think
is-
it's because since it wasn't with me, it was like
The bag moved.
Yeah, the bag. Oh my god. Yeah, no, I
He's
can't
like,
do that.
Don't let that puppy take you.
Yeah, no, I don't want to. Yeah, I respect it. I respect his presence, but I can't. I will not touch it. Like,
No, I always say that
Like-
though.
like, you know.
No, I always say because apparently there's ghosts in my room. Like there's a
Yeah?
lot. Apparently, but I can't sense them because I'm always tired and I go to sleep, knock out right away. But
my
you'll
God.
hear like kids playing in my room or someone, and I say that my puppets probably protect me from all the bad like juju.
Yeah.
And so they probably moved in her bag because they knew they weren't with me, and they're like, "Fuck!" Like
Oh my god.
he's in danger. So like,
He's
like while I'm sleeping, like they're having a whole battle with the ghosts and shit.
Oh my god.
You know, because they were given to me one was by my parents, and then
Right.
the other one, the Maria, was from Mari. So it's
Right,
just like
right.
you give them so much love to these puppets
Go to church together. You know.
that they
We have.
yeah we have
Get together. Go to church every
Yeah.
Sunday. Yeah. Oh, nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we need
They're
the
in the
blessings. But it's just because they probably like absorb all that love, and also
Yeah.
so they're there to protect me.
Right.
We have a thing that if Julio ever passes, his ghost is gonna go into con tiempo, and so you won't see him move, but you'll hear his laugh.
Yo, that's crazy.
You're sleeping and you hear that.
He's at 3 a.m. Hear that?
Like, oh my god. Dia de los Muertos is gonna be mad fun.
Yo.
They're gonna-
Instead of Bloody Mary, you gotta say little con tiempo in the Mary 3 times.
Chucky, no. So in Mexico, nothing's ever happened to you.
No. I mean, when I go to my parents' pueblo over there, I do get like extremely duendes. Is like something I just get scared of.
Mm.
You know, because over there it's like, there's like, since it's like outside of the city, I just get scared, like super scared, because I have my own room over there too as well. All I hear is just the crickets, or sometimes I hear cars. I'm just like, damn, bro, like,
He's a true city boy.
yeah, I get scared, yeah.
What part of Puebla?
So
is your
my
family from?
parents they were born and grew up in a pueblo called Chile de la Sal, right by another pueblo very known too as well, Tulcingo del Valle.
Oh yeah.
You know, so a lot of their like our family members as well from it's called Chile de la Sal. They also are residents here in New York City.
Got it. Wow.
Okay.
I don't know, and then I was born here in Metropolitan Hospital.
You know.
I was born here.
Red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
You never had like the Llorona or anything?
Yo, you really want him to be
Oh
haunted?
wow,
Like,
you're
Llorona?
trying to scare
Yo.
me. No. We've never like the stories being told to me like that. No.
No, like you
Oh,
never
experience?
experienced it?
I have experienced one time in my own house. I was actually leaving out of church.
Okay.
Okay, so
My
this
bad,
happened when I was like I was at the time I was like 13 or 12. At that time I was an altar server. You guys know what an altar server is, right?
Yes.
So, yeah. So at that time, every Sunday, like around 7 a.m., I would go to church and start, like, helping out the priest and doing the whole cross thing.
Mhm.
And at one day, I was coming off. I was going home, and it was super hot. I remember it was the summertime. It was like about like 95 degrees, like at around like 11 a.m. And I was like so already tired. I didn't have my keys. At that time, I remember I was walking. I reached to my house, and there's like a mirror in the middle of my house, right? Because I was trying to see if the door was open or something, or somebody was behind the door. And as I got there, all dressed up with my, tie and everything, with like this cardigan, similar to this cardigan, right? And I peeped inside the window and I knocked, right? And I was waiting for like a minute, and I saw